Hello, welcome to Co-Creating with Cosmic Holly. Today we'll be talking a little bit about the Taurus quarter moon, first quarter moon, um, and we'll do a tarot pull for the moon. So we're at the quarter moon, which is a time where we start to get some clarity on what was happening in the cosmos and as above, so below, what's going on down here. From the new moon in Capricorn on the 18th of January. Uh, that moon was kind of a moon where, because was at 28 degrees, the new moon, um, we do want to plan intentions, or we did want to plan intentions, but there's a sort of intention of letting some things go in order to bring things in. Um, so with this moon at 10 degrees Taurus on January 26th, 2026, we are starting to see either what was going on in our lives, sort of getting more clarity on it from last week, or, and if we set any intentions, we might start to see some growth from those intentions. The other thing that's happening today is first of all, I have a cold, so I'm coming to the end of the cold. So most of the week I've been sitting here with a cold, which makes sense to me, kind of as above, so below, for getting there. Neptune uh, being in the very last degrees of Pisces for the rest of my lifetime and anyone else's lifetime who's alive right now, any human anyway, um, is moving from Pisces into Aries today. So I feel like uh, that's significant, um, because we're moving into a new way of consciousness. Neptune is like the eternal moment, the soul. It's intuition and psychic sensitivity. It can be, our dreams. It's consciousness itself, but it's like our collective. It's our collective consciousness. Neptune is an outer planet, so it's transpersonal. It spent 14 years in Pisces. It can be ESP and creativity. It can be illusion and delusion, right? So, like, how we use the Neptune energy can be, just like any of the planets, can be constructive or destructive, right? But, it can be artistic inspiration, spirituality, mysticism. While in Pisces, while Neptune was in Pisces, Neptune rules Pisces. We heard the term alternative facts, which is insanity. I think as we're moving into Aries, Aries is a very different energy from Pisces. We're going from like self-transcendence to self. There's more of like Aries is, Pisces is the mystic, it's the dreamer, it's beautiful. It can be beautiful, but it can also be, a lot of escapism, a lot of like um watching your watching yourself, watch your mind, which is necessary. And at the same time, it's like it can be passive. And we've been in Pisces for 14 years. And now we're moving into Aries energy, and I really think that this shift happening on the Taurus moon is kind of nice, to be honest. But Aries is a warrior. Aries is a pioneer. We're going from self-transcendence to self. Aries is courage. Aries is survival. Aries is life force. Aries is will. Whereas Pisces can be like, I'm just going to lay back. Aries doesn't do that. So I think some of the things that there's this delusion that we've been kind of under. There's almost like we've been under this spell for the last 14 years where we're like, how did this happen? You know, how did we move into fascism? When, what was going on? Oh my God. Like people are waking up. If you're American, we're waking up that to the fact that things are pretty bad. Um, Aries, there's a tendency for Aries to have like, there's crisis, and Aries takes risk to deal with crisis. So I think we're as a collective, there's not going to be so much sitting on the couch and sitting back and watching things happen through our phones or on the TV or taking other people's word for it. Aries energy wants to experience life and then take that into the consciousness as opposed to just observing. Or, Aries is going to take the energy that all the things that we've learned and that we've dreamed on the good point of it, like Aries can be like, okay, you've had this dream, Pisces. You've been because Pisces is about dreams, and so is Neptune. In the last year, every movie I've seen, and I haven't gone to the movies in a while. Every movie I've seen has been incredible. Neptune, Pisces, they're both tied in with movies. So we'll see how the cinema moves. That'll be interesting to see. But there's this sense of self as opposed to self-transcendent that's going to be brought into the consciousness where people are going to start, I believe, I see it already. People are realizing that even though they might be one person, they have power. And it's going to take courage and risk. And I think after this last week, a lot of people are galvanized to be courageous. Okay, back to the moon. So Taurus wants to be. The energy of Taurus is more about being like on the earth. Taurus is the musician. Taurus listens. Musicians listen before they make sounds. There's a listening to one another to see how we can harmonize. The moon is how we respond to things emotionally. So, the shift from Neptune into Aries, we already experienced it a little bit from March until October last year. And then it dipped back into Pisces. It's not going to dip back into Pisces ever again. Then come February 20th, Saturn is also going to move into Aries. So, and it won't go back into Pisces for another 28, 29 years. So we're really beginning we're on the cusp of a brand new cycle. So I really feel like this cycle, this moon cycle, this Capricorn cycle moving into the Aquarius cycle and in the Chinese New Year, and then into this Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries is the beginning of something very big. And right now it's kind of like collecting, shifting, feeling that energy shift from being sort of like I'm floating in this big ocean to I am here and I'm ready to take action. There's a certain amount of like Aries, it's like the survival, the will to survive is kicking in. Usually I talk about the first quarter mood being also connected to the new moon from 9 months earlier because we have the lunar gestation cycles. So this new moon in Taurus is the full moon, the quarter moon in Taurus is connected to the new moon in Taurus from April 27th, 2025. So we did experience that energy of Neptune being in Aries at that point. But, you know, when I say look back to what you were doing 9 months ago, I can't even remember what I was doing a week ago. Okay. So if you have written things down, if you made intentions back then and wrote it, maybe you can find them. And the world has changed quite a lot in the last 9 months, or the world revealed to us any like illusion that we were having, the illusions being shred apart. So with what we know now from 9 months ago, like looking at what it is that you may have put out there that you wanted to experience or achieve, like, do you still want to do that? Or how can you steer that now that you know more? Now that so much has been revealed. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I am now like, you know, the moon itself is, you know, the mother, is our emotions, our moods. And right now, you know, Taurus kind of wants to be quiet. Where I live, there was a big snowstorm. A lot of the United States had a snowstorm. And I've been kind of hunkered down. When I think about uh, Neptune and Pisces, the last few years for me has been, I'm grateful because I could really use the fifth house energy of everything moving into Aries. The last few years, I surrendered. I was taking care of my mother as she was dying, right? Very Neptunian. Um, and uh, I'm I've been still sort of feeling like I'm almost been dissolved. And that is part of Neptune, to dissolve things. And as Saturn, which is moving along with Neptune, wants to build things, Neptune keeps washing the foundation away. At the same time, it's kind of like, okay, what are we shoring up here? This is like, you know, these next few weeks, this next month, we want to be thinking like, how do I want to move forward in my life? What does Aries represent for me? That Aries energy, and for me, it's very creative and very active, and I'm looking forward to it personally. But for the collective, let's see, I'm shuffling for the collective here. We've got the first quarter moon in Taurus, um, dancing in uh, Aquarius sun, and Neptune moving into Aries. All right, I got something here. Wow, okay, one more. Okay, Sweet. All right. So the first card is the Knight of Cups reversed. So, um, yeah, there's something in our reality, like the Knight of Cups comes to us in a way where it's like, ooh, like he's a poet, he's romantic, or they're romantic. Um, they are very, quick with words and poetry. Like you could see they've got the Mercury on his little helmet, but they're reversed. So there may be you may be experiencing something, and maybe it's the washing away of delusion, um this movement feeling. I'd say that any night could be an Aries type of energy because it's swift and it's a warrior. um there's something that is coming into um, something coming into your consciousness that's going, oh, wow, this doesn't totally add up. So, yeah, there may have been a feeling of some kind of like romance or dream um, or imagining, daydreaming. Someone that's coming to you who is uh, not totally what they're cut out to be, or the energy isn't totally what it's cut out to be. So, just kind of be on the lookout for that. Like if something feels like, wow, this is amazing, just know that it may be an illusion. And then we have the Page of Swords. So, Page of Swords is like some new ideas coming through. Maybe even this illusion is sparking a new idea for you. Whether this person is 100% real, whatever's going on here is like, oh, wow, this person may have had an idea or came in sideways or didn't tell you the whole story, but whatever it did, it sparked you. It sparked something new in you, and you want to explore it. There's a new, like Page of Swords. Pages are um, always kind of at the beginning of some. It's kind of like the ace, but in this stage of development where all of this stuff has been collecting, all of this Neptune energy has been building up, and it spurred you to move in a certain way. Let it be playful. Let whatever this is, like, know that it might not be totally true, and that's okay. What, like, we start fiction, literature, movies, stories, they have some truth, but they may not be totally true, but they may spark a truth in you. In fact, that's what happens. There's something about this story you've been told that is sparking your own truth. And the focus is your truth. The focus is to move with to move forward on this new idea that you have, this way of communicating, maybe this new story that you want to tell, that's your truth, or maybe it might even be a total fantasy. However, it's a story. It's like something that you can have fun with. I always see the pages having some fun, and there's this nurturing of that idea, and I always say this, the nurturing, but it's true. Like, it's this is a young person, it's a young idea. It's, we are to look out for young people, you know same thing with our ideas, like, nurture that and see where it goes. Something is percolating, and you want to follow through with it, and it may come from something that's kind of a fantasy, and that's okay too. um yeah, let it be. We uh we don't know everything, right? We don't. That's just reality, and it's actually really cool, right? So that gives us a chance to explore and to go, okay, this may have been something that is an entire fiction, and or partially a fiction. We don't want to say it's like an entire fiction. There are some things there. It could also be that, like, you're experiencing feelings that are so new, that are like percolating up in you, that, like, there's an intuition that is coming on so strong that you need to pay attention to it, and you need to experiment with it, and you need to let yourself come at it from the point of view of being completely curious, so that it can expand, and, you know that it can be something that enriches your life, you know excuse me. Whew. I was going to sneeze. I am going to sneeze. Anyway, there you have it. um these are court cards, so it could be an aspect of yourself, or someone that that sort of, like, fires this up in you. um and it's okay. Yeah, go with it, explore, enjoy, right? Enjoy it. Enjoy your life. Um, okay. So that's for this week. Um, be gentle with yourself. Um, be gentle with yourself. There's a lot happening out there, and I really do feel like there's a lot of, like, oh my God, wow. You may just have been watching what the hell has been going on in the world and going, what can I do about it? You're getting the idea what you can do about it. Um, when we look back to our child selves, I always, our child selves are more wise um, than we give ourselves credit for, because there's a purity there. Yeah, there may be some, there you might be there. The child self might be naive, but and there's a purity in humanity that's there. It's very basic, very much a reminder to all of us, you know, that we're all sacred. It's a sacred part of ourselves. Every From childhood to elderhood, we're sacred, but we are children of the universe. And part of our job is to, I think, make sure that, the child self or the children um, are safe, right? That we're all safe. Okay. There we go. Have a wonderful week. If you'd like to get a reading from me, go to holly-troy.com/tarot and you can get a reading from me. Or you can book an in-person reading with me at medicamagica.com. Have a great week and stay safe. Peace. Okay, another addendum. I'm just doing this now. Sometimes when I get up, I walk away from this camera and I think about it a little bit more. I'd say uh, the short of it is this: first quarter moon from January 26th, the week of January 26th, Taurus, 10 degrees, 27 minutes. This week, right? Let go of social media for a little while. Everyone's taking action the way they can in what's happening in the world. The knight is on that kind of quest, wants to take action. But if you move from strict emotion, it can be tough, right? It can be maybe not so safe. I also like to see, like I said, this could be poetry. Not everything is as it seems. We could still take action. Just let your mind have a little bit of a break, right? Get off social media. When you want to reach for social media, maybe instead either create something, write a poem, write a story, write a song, okay? Right here. Do something creative. Uh, or even read a book, like take in something inspirational, watch a movie. But I'd say really, especially with the words are really important right now. Take some creative action. Read a book, write a story, write a poem, write a song. And if you can, perform it. Get out there and do it for your community. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be like, this is the whole world. It's like, this is my hyper local community. I have a story to tell. I have a poem to read. I have a song to sing. And I want to share it with the people who are physically in my vicinity. Because Taurus is all about physicality. Okay. Thank you. Have a great week. Peace.